All right, so today I'm going to show you how I turn my Tesla Model Y into a virtual IMAX or Infinity Theater, and why that's great for parents that spend a lot of time sitting outside their kids' classes waiting for them to come out. And that's what I did this week. I spent some time waiting for my kids to get out of art, dance, gymnastics. While I'm waiting, I turned my car into a theater, and I loved it. Now, the more comfortable the seats are, the better off you are. My wife's 2015 Nissan Versa, that's fine too. It doesn't matter. Let's get into it. All right, here I am at a Tesla supercharger. I'm waiting to fuel up with some kilowatts, and I need some entertainment, so I brought my Apple Vision Pro headset to show off what it can do and how it can turn your car into not just a home theater, but an actual movie theater where you're fully immersed. And there's a couple things that you should keep in mind. First, you need either a Wi-Fi source or you need to download content ahead of time. If you don't, you're going to be disappointed. You need Wi-Fi to stream content or download that content ahead of time. Or if you're going to connect to your cell phone, just remember that it uses a lot of data. If you have unlimited package and you're not metered after a certain amount of data, that's great. If not, I wouldn't plan on using it. So another thing to keep in mind is safety. Now, I'm in a relatively safe area. I'm not concerned about somebody coming up and grabbing it off my face or smashing my window, but I would recommend that you lock your car doors if you're going to sit here. And that's also just so you're not surprised by somebody coming up and knocking on the door and opening it. You may also want to consider sitting in the back seat. Now, if you're in the front, you can recline, which is great for a theater environment where you have reclining seats. As of right now, the problem with that is a couple of the in-app environments don't support reclining. So the content will show straight ahead and you can't drag and pinch it up to the ceiling. Disney Plus, Apple TV, their environments require that you're upright or maybe slightly reclined, but not much. The native environments let you recline and you can just pinch and drag the app up to the ceiling, which is great. Super relaxing, but it is cool to be in a simulated theater, and I'll show you that. Both Disney Plus and Apple TV have their own. Let's get the headset on so I can take advantage of this time at the supercharger, and here we go. And I'll recline, and then we'll see what we can do. We can use streaming apps, planetarium app, or you can just relax to a fully immersive environment. And you can dial it up and down so that you can see as little or as much of the outside as you choose. So if you want to be fully immersed and you're comfortable with being in a safe area, that's great. I'll start with White Sands National Park native environment on the headset. These environments are built in. When you get the headset, you can choose from some of the national parks or the moon. There are a couple that are supposedly coming soon. And you can see I dialed back the immersiveness using the dial on the top right part of the headset. And that makes it so that I can see to my right and left, which sometimes I feel in different settings I feel more comfortable with. Let's open up the Encounter Dinosaurs three-dimensional app. Now this one is pretty cool, but it really is a party trick. So I don't foresee myself using this other than to show it off to other people, because now that I've done it a couple times, it only lasts a couple minutes and you can interact with dinosaurs. You can actually interact with what's in the app. I've only tried it with my hand so far, but one of the things to note here is that you can't use the native environments because I think because of the interactivity, they don't want you walking around and bumping into things. So you can select the room dimming like I did there. And that's the best you'll get for feeling immersed in it. And then this is cool. The butterfly comes out
If you present your hand, it will come over, fly around a bit. Sometimes it'll land on your hand. Sometimes it'll just fly away. It's hard to show it, in 1080p in 2 dimensions, but it really feels 3-dimensional. Like when you're looking at it go out of the window, it looks like it's actually flying out of the window. And then it opens up to the dinosaurs. You'll see a baby dinosaur pop up. And then there's a couple adult dinosaurs that'll come over. One will come up to you. It's not scary at all. So if you have a young kid that wanted to watch this, it would be fine if you can get the headset to fit right. That's it. I'll just speed through this a bit. They basically come out, they interact with each other, and I'll slow it down to show where the one dinosaur is going to interact with me. Comes up, you present your hand if you want, and it feels like it's actually breaking out of that frame. Again, it's hard to show that in a video, especially at lower resolution, but in a headset that has better than 4K, really is incredible to see. But again, it's a bit of a party trick because you're not gonna do this often. I wouldn't sit in my car and other than to show you this app, I wouldn't sit in my car and do this. So let me speed this part up. The 2 dinosaurs, spoiler alert here, they're going to battle each other a little bit, and then you'll see the apps. This is at 2.5 times speed, but you'll see the app's gonna close up, and let's get into what we're actually here for today, and that's streaming apps. So here's the Disney Plus app. Now, this has some really cool built-in environments, but you can see where I pinched it and dragged it up to the ceiling of the car. Now, you can just barely see around the edges, the outside, and that's because I don't have the level of immersiveness all the way up, and that was so I could see a little bit around me if I look on my right and left. Here I am adjusting the size of the picture, and then the coolest part are these environments. So, the first one here is the Disney Theater. It's pretty cool. It feels 3-dimensional. It feels like you're actually sitting inside of it. As you look around, you can see it a little bit of the outside was exposed there. That's because my head was so close to the side pillar that it detected an object. And here it is switching to Avengers Tower. Right now they have 4 built-in environments in the Disney Plus app. Avengers Tower. Let's switch to Scare Floor. This, I haven't watched it before, but it's from Monsters, Inc. I don't know that I would want to watch a movie with this background. Tatooine, obviously Star Wars. It's interesting. I don't really want it as a backdrop for my movies. I think the Disney Theater is the best. Downside to these, you will not be able to recline if you use the in-app environments. And I think that's a bit of a drawback. On the flip side, I'll tell you, these in-app environments the theater ones, to me, are a perfect setting to watch a movie. Now, this one, right as I play it, see how it's still up on my ceiling or close to the ceiling of the car. But as it starts playing, you're going to see it's going to recenter itself down where in the theater screen, in the environment, that's where it's going to play. So I think it's a bit of a shortcoming, but I can see why they did it. It's nice to sit and watch straight ahead, presented on the theater screen. And there it goes. So now it's recentered itself. So if you're reclining, you would only see the very top of it. Now, in the Disney app and other apps, you can still use the environments that are in the headset, and you can drag, and I'll show you in a bit here, but you can drag the app up the ceiling. You can use any of the national parks for your environment or the moon. I choose the nighttime environments. I think it's less distracting with the darkness around, like an actual theater. Now let's move on to Apple TV here. I chose Edge of Tomorrow because it's in 3D or 2D. You can select on some of the videos whether you want to play it in 3D or 2D. Now, here it is presented in front of me just to show you what it's like if you're sitting in the car and you were to put it right in front. And you can also drag that window to make it larger. You can drag the window up. And here's changing the environment to Mount Hood, one of the built-in environments in the headset. Now, I like these night ones. They usually are surrounded with stars and the moon. It's pretty relaxing to watch a movie in. You can also switch to daytime. It's cool how it's like, they really put a lot of work into the details on these where they have it elevate above the water. This is the best representation of environments, having it in daytime as far as demonstrating it in a video, but I can tell you the night ones are really nice because of just how immersive they feel in that dark environment. Now I'll show you the best movie watching environment that I think the headset offers, and that's in the Apple TV app. You can see I selected cinema. Now, this is a movie theater. It's dark inside, but the coolest part about this, and if you look, it's just empty. You're just sitting there. It's just you. It's a single chair in the theater. If you look around, it's a little hard to see in the video, but it feels very spatial. And the best part is you can choose where in the theater you're sitting. It's just wild to be able to adjust how far the screen is away from you, just like picking a seat in a theater. So you have front, middle, back, and for each of those you can choose either floor or balcony. Obviously, balcony elevates you so that you're looking sort of down at the screen. This is by far the best movie watching experience for the Apple Vision Pro. And I think they put a lot of time into figuring this out. I hope other apps can come up with something similar because it's just so cool to be able to choose where in a theater you're going to sit to watch this, how big or small the screen looks to you. The headset simulates a 100-foot screen. It has advanced spatial audio, so you feel like you're in the theater. 23 million pixels, I think. Really incredible experience. It's an incredible in-car theater experience. And if there was anything missing, I think it's that there's not the bass that you would get from being in a theater. You don't have that subwoofer effect. Let's move on to the Paramount app, though. And that's what I have open here. Same idea as the others. You can stretch the app so that it does simulate that 100-foot screen. Here I have a dark environment, and Paramount hasn't offered any environments for their app yet. As time goes on, I think we'll see more developers and companies that offer streaming come out with more environments and more complex options in their environments. But, the Paramount app it's enough to sit in the car and watch and still feel like you're in the theater. You turn one of the native environments on, pinch and drag the app up, if you're going to recline. You can see here I'm in the back seat. So obviously, it's a Model Y. The seat doesn't recline. But it does provide a little more comfort as far as safety. I have the tinted windows on the side. It doesn't matter as far as watching something because once you turn the environment onto immersive, you can't see any light outside. But it's just more relaxing. And there you can see I got too close to an object and it warns me to move back, but it also gives me some visibility outside the environment that's on at the time. One more app to show you for you stargazers out there, the Night Sky app. There's a couple different apps, but Night Sky is so far the one I prefer. Turn your car into a planetarium. It's not for me as far as sitting in a car and being entertained. I like to watch a 3D movie or even 2D and just turn my car into an actual theater, not a planetarium. But that's how you turn your car into a home theater. That's all I have for today. Now, I'm not sponsored, so anything I'm sharing is my own opinion, and I have no stake in the game. But I do hope you like and subscribe so I can bring you more content. I have a lot more to show off in this headset. Thanks for watching.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy.